BookTube, it's Missy, and today I'm here to share with you guys a Tradeaway giveaway video. This is the summer edition. I was planning on doing this video next month, you know, in August, because it's still summer in August. But the first half of August I will be on vacation, backpacking and camping in Yellowstone. And then the other half of August I will be starting a new school year with new students. I will be stressed out and tired and mentally unable to film a lot of videos at the end of August. So, yes. Let's do the Tradeaway now. Also, this is a part 2 to a video that I've already filmed, which was the book unhaul challenge video. You've seen a lot of these books in that video, so I will be doing all of those books plus more books in this video. And yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about are the rules. This is a Tradeaway giveaway, which means that you need to trade a book with me in order to get a book from me. This is not a free giveaway. I do many of those on my channel. So if you want to win a book, you need to find a book that you are going to send to me first. What that means is I will, of course, film this video. You will pick the books that you want. You will leave a comment down below saying what pile of books that you want. And then you will give me a confirmation code, or I'll just wait for the book to arrive in the mail. And then once I am actually holding the physical book, I will then send you your pile of books. Hopefully that makes sense. So it's like you know how they have those CODs for TV, seen on TV things where it says cash on demand? These are BODs, book on demand. So you will receive your book once I receive mine. Hopefully that makes sense. This is international. I am willing to spend the money if you are. So if you want to send me a book from wherever you're at, say you live in Spain and you want to send me a book, I will then send you a book. I have no problems in doing that. All right, those are the rules. You don't have to be a follower of my channel, although it's great and wonderful if you are a subscriber. That just helps me out, know more about what my people want on this channel. I do these videos for you guys. I mean, I enjoy having a YouTube channel, but it's specifically for you guys. So without subscribers, there is no channel. So subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, let's get started. So I said that we were going to do piles. So the first pile I want to talk about is the YA pile. We have Wicked Charm here by Amber Hart. This came out this year. This is a YA mystery that takes place in the panhandle of Florida. So the panhandle, which is, you know, Florida has like this long strip here and then it comes down. So the panhandle is right there, right before you get to Alabama and Georgia, I believe. That's the cross states. I was going to say countries. That doesn't make any sense. The cross states. And so this takes place in a, it's not a bog. It's not a jungle. Swamp. My goodness. An area with water. This takes place in a swampy town. And yeah, there's a murder going on. I gave this book a 4, I think. I really enjoyed it, but I just don't see myself rereading it, especially since I already know the outcome of the mystery, and so I'll be giving it away to you guys. I love this purple cover. I don't know if you can tell that it's purple, but it is. It's very pretty. So if you want this book, just say YA, YA books, because you will be getting all 3. I've broken down books before where I just sent out 1 book at a time, but that's a lot of money. So you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. If you want this book, you're getting the other 2 anyway. The next book in the YA pile is Ruined by Paula Morris. My friend from work just gave this to me yesterday, thinking that I didn't own it, and I already do. Story of my life. I own a lot of books, especially if it's paranormal. So this is a paranormal book. There is 2 books in this series, so it's a duology. This one is called Ruined. The other book is called... The books. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. So I definitely don't need this. This is a duplicate. Yeah, and I don't know how long she had it for, but it's in really good condition. And she's starting to take all of her physical books and replacing it with Kindle books because she doesn't want physical books in her house anymore, which I can't relate to. So yeah, I don't need this book. If you would like a paranormal YA book, just say YA books. And the last book in the YA pile is called Crimson by Laura Foster. I received this book from the author last year, the very beginning of last year, I believe. I really enjoyed it. I even did another giveaway because she sent me not only the hardcover but the paperback. And I planned on keeping this book so I could have it like a collection because she does have a second book coming out at some point in time. But I don't see myself rereading this at any point, and it's not signed to me, so I don't feel like I have to keep it. But I did really enjoy it, and I did give it like a 4. This is an angel book, and it's got a twist to it because it's got like a different kind of angel origin story, which I felt was super fascinating. Like, I've read several angel books in my day, and this was the best angel book that I've read because the origin story was just so amazing. But it's about a girl who's being chased by angels. She doesn't know that she's part angel, and when she finds out, she's just like really freaked out and wants to know more. But there's good angels and bad angels, and she doesn't know whether or not the people that are chasing her are bad or good. You learn a lot in this book, and again, it was a lot of fun to read. I believe I gave this 4 stars. I just don't think I'll reread it, especially since it is part of a series, and I don't know when the second book is coming out, so I don't want to just hold on to it forever. So there you have it. That's the first pile. Am I in frame? No, not really. The first pile of YA books. We have Crimson, Wicked Charm, and Ruined. The next pile of books I have here, the murder thriller books, I want to say. These are all adults. The first one is The Murderer's Daughters by Randy Susan Myers. I purchased this from Book Off about 4 years ago. When I first started going to Book Off, I was like picking up just books at random. Books I've never heard of, authors I've never heard of, just by their synopsis alone. But then it's been 4 years. It's been sitting on my shelf for that long, and I've totally forgot what this was about. And I think I only bought it because of the title, The Murderer's Daughters. But it's actually about a father who kills the mom and then goes to jail, and like the 2 daughters, like their life and like how they react and everything. I don't know if it's set in the past while they're small and follows them until they're adults, or if it starts off as adults and then they're remembering the past. But basically, the dad is obsessed with the mom. The mom doesn't like him anymore. The mom takes the girls and leaves. She tells the girls never to open the door to their father. The father bullies his way in, kills the mom, and there's the aftermath of what's happening now. So one daughter still loves the dad, still believes that he should be forgiven. The other daughter, the father's dead to her. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And so, to me, it says mystery contemporary, but to me it kind of sounds like a drama, so I'm just not interested anymore. Next we have Gillian Flynn, Dark Places. I love Gillian Flynn's writing. I hate every single book she's written, and not in the way that you might think. I hate them all because I despise every single character that she writes. They're all flawed. They're all terrible human beings, but the writing style is so addictive that you just want to keep picking it up. This is my least favorite of all of the books that Gillian Flynn has written, and this is a duplicate copy. This is my copy, and then my friend Laverne sent me a copy, and so because she sent me a copy, I'm keeping hers and I'm getting rid of mine. I think I bought this from Book Off as well. It's the paperback floppy edition, and yeah, I don't need it because I already own a copy, but this definitely, this story, Libby Day is the worst. Like, if I had to choose between her and Amy from Gone Girl, I would choose Amy, because Amy is calculating and just evil, and then Libby is just pathetic and irritating, and I don't like reading about pathetic and irritating, and her brother's even more irritating, and her father's even more irritating. I couldn't take it. So if you would like to collect all of Gillian Flynn's books and you're missing this one, just say adult thrillers. And the last book I have here is Lisa Unger's Blackout. This again was sent to me by a friend through my Tradeaway giveaways, so it's fitting to do another Tradeaway giveaway with you guys. I just found this book in trade paperback from Book Off the last time I went, which was last month, and so I don't need this mass market paperback anymore. I do appreciate whoever sent it to me. I love all the books that you guys sent me, but I don't like mass market paperback, and if I can avoid them, I do. If I can avoid them. Like the Hodor edition Stephen King books, I can't not buy mass market paperbacks in those, so that's why I have so many. But these ones, if I can avoid them, I will. Anyways, this is a thriller, adult thriller. I don't know anything else about it because I've never read it before. But if you are interested in any of these thrillers, this side's better. If you're interested in any of these thrillers, just say adult thrillers, and you will get all of these books in one box. The next pile is an entire series, but it's big enough to send in one whole box, and that is the Gemma Doyle series. I purchased all of these books on Thrift Books, I believe, and I read this one. It was great. This is a YA magical series, so it's got fantasy in it. The main character is from India. I'm not sure if she's half Indian or not, but the rest of her family lives in England, and her mom is murdered in India, and so she takes off back to England to, you know, keep from being murdered as well. She's like on the run, and she's at this boarding school, and she learns at the boarding school that she's has magical abilities. It's historical fiction. I absolutely loved it. It's a good size book. It's about 400 or so pages, and so I really enjoyed it. But then when I was collecting the rest of the books, I decided I don't think I'll ever pick them back up. Again, because it's historical fiction and they're so chunky, I couldn't get into the second one. I think I read like 20, 30 pages and I just couldn't get into it. This one in particular, the sticker, I tried to remove it and I just peeled it a little bit, but I saw that it was like taking off the picture of this girl here, and so I didn't want to ruin the spine. Sometimes thrift books, their stickers stick really, really well, and sometimes they just come off really easily. So I'm leaving the sticker on so that whoever wins this, these books, they can take it off themselves with like Goo Gone or olive oil or however you like to remove books, maybe to steam it off. I don't know. But I don't want to ruin it anymore. Just know that there is a sticker on the spine. And then the last one we have here is The Sweet Far Thing. This is the third and final book in the Gemma Doyle series, and this is 900 pages. There's no way. I'm not doing it. I don't want to. Libba Bray's books are so long sometimes, and I just don't want to. So here is a whole series. If you want the Gemma Doyle series, just let me know down below. Our next pile is the YA LGBT pile. So we have here, oops, On the Edge of Gone by Corinne Doivas. This has been on my shelves for a good 3 years. I requested this from the publishing company, Amulet. Really, really enjoyed the book. I believe I gave it 4 or 5 stars. This is about a autistic girl, which is written extremely well. All of her autism, like the stimming and everything, is written like it's supposed to. It's not, what do I want to say? Not cartoonish in any way, and not like, you know, like TV autism where, you know, it's not a spectrum. And that's the thing, like, one person's autism will be different than another person's autism. And you guys all know my son's autistic, so I have like first-hand knowledge of autism. Also, I work with autistic kids at school. I'm an instructional aide for mild to moderate children in the elementary school that I work in, so I'm very familiar. And because of that, when I read this, I was hoping and praying that they didn't ruin it, like they didn't make the autism not believable, but this is very believable, and it totally worked out nicely. And yeah, also the main character's sister is transgender, and this is a sci-fi book. Basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to escape an asteroid collision on Earth, and everyone is supposed to either be in bunkers hiding out because the apocalypse is basically happening. Everyone's afraid that the whole world's going to be destroyed, and so they're trying to form like little groups under the earth to make sure that they aren't wiped out. And then the people who could afford it are on spaceships, as you can see there, the spaceship. So our main character finds out that there is a spaceship left on Earth, and she's trying to figure out a way to get her and her family on that spaceship. Very, very good. I just don't plan on rereading it anytime soon, so I'm finally giving it away. I have so many books, if you guys haven't noticed, so if I can part with a book, if I'm absolutely sure I don't need it anymore, I will be giving it away to you guys to make room for more books. Gosh. Alright, this one is a historical fiction YA LGBT book. I purchased this from Book Off with the rest of those books that I'm not sure about 4 years ago. The cover is what first caught my eye because it's a corset, and I thought, oh my gosh. And on the back, it talks about the girl being put into a mental hospital. Now, back in the day, during, you know, historical fiction times, so like late 18th century, 19th century, 20th century, having any kind of, if you weren't normal, you were sent to mental hospitals to be put there forever because nobody wanted you. And in this time, or in this book, the girl, here's the thing. I haven't read the book, so from the synopsis and what I've read from Goodreads reviews, the girl is a lesbian. Now, I don't know if her parents find out that she's a lesbian and that's why she's at a mental hospital because her parents think she's, you know, crazy. Or if while she's at the mental hospital, her sexuality becomes more known to her and she finds out that she is a lesbian. I'm not sure how it works, but this is LGBT, and mental hospital is one of my words, my buzzwords. I like reading about those kinds of things, so I really wanted to pick this up, but it's been sitting on my shelf for 4 years. I just don't think I will. And so even though it's gorgeous looking, I did pick it up and read like the first chapter, and it sounded good, but at the same time I was just like, I don't know. So I'll be giving this one away. And then the last book for the LGBT YA books is The Great American Whatever by Tim Federal. Now, I just did a review on this last month. I read it. It was great. It's about a boy who has just lost his sister 6 months ago. His mom doesn't know that he's gay. His best friend, who is straight, knows that he's gay. And this is kind of like a coming of age, coming out story. And it's got a sex scene in here, which I found delightful. Not because I am totally gross, but I've read several LGBT books before, and they never have sex scenes. And this one was realistic and also emotional and not cheesy or gross. Gross as in being like super graphic. But it was realistic for a teenager, and so I really enjoyed that. It was a nice little like love story, and he's a script writer. He writes scripts for movies. Before his sister died, she was the director, and she filmed all of his movies. And then his best friend, which lives next door, would be in the movies as an extra. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this book, but I just don't think I will reread it because it's contemporary, and I don't I don't reread contemporary books, so I will be giving this away. So if you're interested in LGBT books and you haven't read any of these ones, just say YA LGBT. Again, we have a sci-fi, we have a historical fiction, and we have a humor contemporary. The next pile I have here is going to be the horror pile, because I don't really have a horror pile. The first book I have here is Pork Pie Hat by Peter Straub. Yes, you guys have seen this book before. This was part of the spring edition Tradeaway giveaway, but the person who won it last time couldn't trade with me, and so it's going to be in this Tradeaway. It's about a man who decides to write a biography on his favorite musician. I'm calling him the Jazz Man, but in the book he's known as the Pork Pie Hat Man, but that's ugly and long and I don't like the way it sounds. So the Jazz Man. So the man, our narrator, who has no name, interviews the Jazz Man, and the Jazz Man talks about this one particular night on Halloween when he was a kid and what he saw in the woods. Now, he believes in one thing, but when you get to the end, you're like, oh, is that what he saw? And I was totally confused, and this was in my Nocturnal Readers box. So I thought this was going to be horror, but it's not. And it's not really a ghost story because it's kind of a contemporary. And it's very short. I didn't like it. I think I gave it 2.5 or 3 stars. It wasn't my taste. I just didn't really like it. It was a little bit slow. It was just, meh. The next book I have here is The Grave Digger. Again, this is another book that I purchased on the same book off purchase when I went to the store. I saw this synopsis, I really liked it, and this is an Own Voices fantasy magical realism book. So we have a man who lives in Spain, and he can speak to the dead. So he digs, I don't know if he's the grave digger, like it's called Grave Digger, so I don't know, like he digs graves in a cemetery, and as he's digging the graves and putting the bodies in, if that's when the ghosts start talking to him. But he is supposed to be the ghost whisperer, so he tells the families what the ghosts still want them to know, which I find really fascinating. And I've picked this up several times for different readathons where it's set in a different country or its own voices, but I just never picked it up, and I don't think I ever will. It's by Peter Granbois. I don't know how to say that last name. But yeah, if you're interested, just say horror, because I don't know what else. I could just call it paranormal, but these shirts that I'm going to be giving away with these books are not paranormal. They came in a horror box. Alright, so I have this shirt here. It's got a, can you see that? It's got an ape, and it's got the biohazard sign. I received this a long time ago in my, not Loot Crate, my horror block box. Do you guys remember me unboxing those? I got them for a long time. I got a lot of shirts that came in each month's box, and I don't really like red. I have a few red shirts that I will wear, like the polka dotted one, but I don't wear red. Now, these have been washed but never worn. So this has just been sitting in my closet for like almost 2 years. So if you are interested in the horror box, you can win 2 t-shirts. This is in size medium, a ladies medium. So we have that one, and we also have another red shirt. And this one is really cool because it's like all of the horror movies. So we have Scream, we have Freddy Krueger, we have Chainsaw Massacre guy. I think this is The Hills Have Eyes. Is this from The Hills Have Eyes too? But there again is the picture that's on the shirt. Again, it's a size medium. So if you were interested in winning 2 red horror shirts from the horror block box that I got forever ago, and 2 semi-ghost stories, just say horror or t-shirts down below, and you can have that box. All right, 2 more piles, or no, excuse me, 3 more piles. No, 4 more piles. Wow, I have a lot of books. Okay, the next pile I have here is drama. Just say drama or contemporary. We have The Sweep of the Hand, and this is by Dean Monty. I had to look this up again. I think I have like 5 or 6 books in this unhaul Tradeaway giveaway that I purchased all at the same time at Book Outlet. No, excuse me, at Book Off, not Book Outlet, but Book Off, the store. And I read the synopsis and then decided later on, 4 years later, that there's no way I will ever read these. So this is about a man who believes that he has 16 months left to live because he believes he's losing 1 minute every day, which doesn't make any sense. So he's not sick. He doesn't have insomnia. He just believes that he's losing, you know, like in Princess Bride where the man goes, "This sucks 1 year of your life away."
I've just sucked 1 year of your life away.
He believes he's losing 1 minute of his life every single day. And so it's kind of like a bucket list drama book where he wants to fulfill all of his dreams before he dies. And then the next one I have here is The Weird Sisters. This is by Eleanor Brown. I see this all the time in my library bookstore, at Book Off whenever I go. This is a family contemporary, and the reason why I picked this up is because I love books about sisters, but at the same time I'd never read them. So these sisters are named after famous Shakespearean women, which I find fascinating. The father is a Shakespearean like professor at a college, and the mom, I can't remember what the mom does. I can't remember. But this is a drama as well. So the girls grow up and they find out that life is different than what they believed. Now, hey, if you don't talk about things with your parents all the time about their life before you, everything is a mystery. But I don't know what this is about. I don't know. But they're having a hard time communicating with their parents, and I just don't want to read that. So this is the only pile that has 2 books, because this is the only like pile that I had that was only like drama contemporary. But if you want these 2, just say contemporary or drama down below. This pile is a bunch of classics. We have here Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. This has a movie adaptation that you could watch. I think it's got Kirk Douglas's character. I found this a snooze fest. This was so stinking boring. It's so boring. I read it a few years ago. It's about a man who lives in either in England or Spain. Or maybe he lives in England and goes to Spain and that's where they set off. I have no idea. There's a ship that the man's on, and at the beginning and the end of the book, he's on a ship talking to the crew on the ship about his past. And the past is when he goes to the Heart of Darkness, which is not the Nile River, but a river in Africa where the white people are there, and they are like having the natives captured and enslaved to help build stuff. And I hate reading about slavery, for one. But this is like old flowery talk about slavery. And so it was just like, I don't know what was going on. His boat was broken when he got there. He had to fix it, but the supplies weren't there. He had to wait forever to get the supplies in order to fix the boat. Then he goes up north to talk to this man, the reason why he even went down to Africa. The man's not there, or he's on his deathbed. And there's all these like natives that are like in little chunks where they're going to like kill him. It's just, I don't understand what this book, like, what's the symbolism of this book? Like, is it just a story? Is it supposed to teach me something? I don't know. I hated it. And this is my husband's edition, and so I don't want it anymore. Long story short. By the way, this has a little bit of writing in it in pencil, so if you don't mind writing, or if you do mind writing, you can always erase it. But I guess someone had this for school, and so they were underlining things, and then they have like a little bit of notes, nautical and all that. Nice cursive handwriting. Aesthetic. I don't know anything. So if you want this, there you go. Then we have my duplicate of Frankenstein. Again, another book that is my husband's, that is not mine, that I don't want anymore. I do have a nicer edition of Frankenstein. I still haven't read this book. This is by Mary Shelley. I don't know what I'm waiting for, because I really want to read Frankenstein. And even though I know that the monster's name is not Frankenstein, the monster's name is the monster, and Frankenstein is the actual mad doctor scientist guy, I always see that guy and go, Frankenstein. Isn't that awful? Why do we teach our kids the wrong things? Anyways, the last part of that pile is this collection of the Chronicles of Narnia. Now, this is the 70s covers. I have books 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I don't know where 1 and 2 is. I got this out of a storage unit. My dad used to manage storage units, and when people were defaulted on or over on their storage units, they would either, their things would go up for auction, or sometimes the people that owned the storage unit that weren't paying anymore decides that they don't want their stuff. And so that's when my dad was able to like go through the storage unit and throw all the trash away and keep or give away whatever was in there, because the people didn't want it anymore and gave permission to do so. So anyways, I would go through the storage units as well and look for books, because that was my obsession. So we have here The Voyager of the Dawn Treader. I don't know why I tell you guys stories. You guys don't care. The Silver Chair. These covers are funny. The Horse and the Boy, and His Boy. The Magician's Nephew, and The Last Battle. I've never been interested in the Chronicles of Narnia. I've never wanted to read these books. I picked it up because I thought I should, because it's classic. I did enjoy the very first movie that came out a long time ago, but I've never watched any of the movies that came out after that, the sequels. So yeah, I don't need this. So if you're interested in any of these classics, just say classics down below. And again, you don't get to choose which ones you want. You get all of them, because I don't want them. A single book here. Now, I am pretty sure no one's going to want this book, and that's okay. But I'm putting it in this Tradeaway anyway, just in case someone does want it. Otherwise, I will just be donating it to the library. And that is What to Expect When You're Expecting. I used this so much when I was pregnant with both of my children, and I've read it cover to cover. It's got a lot of information in here. It really saved my life. That's kind of dramatic. It didn't save my life, but it definitely helped me be less anxious about being pregnant and delivering a baby. But obviously I don't need this anymore. I'm not having any more babies. My babies are now 11 and 13. I absolutely do not need this book. So if you are pregnant and you don't own this, why? Or if you're planning on being pregnant soon and you don't own this, let me know down below and you can totally have it. I highly doubt there's going to be a million people wanting this book. So I'm sure if you want this, it's going to be yours. I can't imagine people fighting over this book. It's a nonfiction. So, yeah. And my very last pile, I have 15 minutes before my camera dies. My very last pile is a book box here of middle grade. Now, I have so much middle grade. As you can see, I talked about how I reorganized all my kids' books. I went through all of my middle grade books. I gave a lot of them away to friends. I sent a huge box to my friend Amy. And for her son, my other friend Amy that I work with came over and took a lot of my other kids' books, like my lower end kids' books, like picture books and stuff like that. And then I gave away the rest of my picture books to a neighbor. And then these are all of the middle grade books that I have left, and then 2 fun things. So we'll talk about the fun things first. We have Michelangelo here. My son used...
It's gonna be epic!
It is going to be epic. Wow, I forgot he talks.
Alright, good work, Donnie.
Thanks.
Pizza time! I'm thinking sausage and jelly beans. This is gonna be epic!
Oh, he only says 2 things? Okay. I don't want this. I don't like it when it's pushed in my house. I hate, like, scary, unexpected noises.
Alright, good work, Donnie. Pizza time! I'm thinking sausage and jelly beans.
I don't need it. I don't need it. It is a keychain. My son used to get not the horror block box. I got that one. But he got the Nerd Blocks Junior box. And it was pretty cheap, like $13 a month. But he got so much like stuff in there that he just will never ever use. So I'm getting rid of this, along with these Ninja Turtles, Michelangelo sunglasses. This is actually from Loot Crate. My husband got this in a Loot Crate box 4 years ago. I don't need them anymore. They were collecting dust on my bookshelf. I finally cleaned them off, and they look good together because it's both Michelangelo. So yes, there's that. On to the middle grade books inside this box. By the way, you will be receiving it in a Nocturnal Readers box, so don't get super excited. It's not Nocturnals in there. It's a bunch of middle grade. All right, so the first book I have here is Flat Stanley again, or Stanley's Flat Again by Jeff Brown. Pictures by Scott Nash. My son used to love Flat Stanley, and he's too big for this now. I have a whole bunch of books that my son was supposed to read in 5th grade. Not supposed to, he actually did. But the teacher said that it would be a good idea to have the children own their own set of these books. And I will never read them, and he will never reread them, so I'm giving them away. So we have here My Brother Sam is Dead by James Lincoln Collier and Christopher Collier. That sounds so sad. This is about the American Revolution, I think, and his brother died in the war. I'm not interested. So my memory card got full, and my battery is going to die in 6 minutes, even though I was charging it while I was exchanging like all of the memory stuff from my card to my computer. I guess I'm gonna have to finish my video making tomorrow, but at least I'll have this video done. So let's continue with the middle grade books. So we have here again Winter According to Humphrey by Betty G. Burney. I don't know what this is about. It's got a hamster or a gerbil on the cover. I don't want it. Then we have Bound for Oregon, another school book that my son had to read in 5th grade. This is by Jean Van Leeuwen, or Jean Van Leeuwen. It's got some pictures in it. This was part of his history books that he had to read. There's also The Sign of the Beaver by Elizabeth George Spear. Again, another book he had to read in school in 5th grade. Don't know what this is about. Then we have Bridge Over Terabithia by Catherine Peterson. I've seen this movie and it made me really sad. And my son read this and he said it was really sad, so he doesn't want it. Here's a million attempts at this one video. So right afterwards my camera died, so I had to go get the plug and plug it in. I was trying to be lazy and I actually didn't think the cord would fit, but it did. So onward, we have Moorfield School and the Mystery by Liam Moiser. I received this from the author. He wrote this when he was like 13, and so I'm giving him a little leeway here. It's good for a book written by a 13-year-old. But I didn't enjoy the story as a whole. Like, I gave this 2.5 or 3 stars. I think it 2.5 stars. There's no real mystery to it, and it was confusing, and I had a lot of questions, and yeah. Since then, I spoke to the author last year, the year before, after I had given this review, and I was asking him questions, and he said that the sequel to this book he wrote when he was older, and so he's a lot better at writing now. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if I have the energy or attention span to continue on with this series. So I am giving this one away. It is great if you're a little kid, but as an adult reading this, you're just like, I don't understand what's going on. Kids don't pick that kind of stuff up. Next I have here Tricks with Your Head. Hilarious Magic Tricks and Stunts to Disgust and Delight by Mac King and Mark Levy. My son got this for birthday or Christmas or something, but he's not into magic, although the illustrations are very funny and silly. He never even took this off the bookshelf, so I'm giving this one away. Then we have a Star Wars Rebel Journal by Ezra Bridger. This is kind of cool because these things like kind of pop out. So if you like almost like a scrapbook type of feel to this. It's very short. There's not that much writing on each page, but if your child really likes Star Wars the cartoon, they might enjoy that one. Then we have 2 Skylanders books. This one is Skylanders Universe, Book of Elements, Magic and Tech. My kids were ridiculously into Skylanders. I have this huge bucket. It's actually a chest that I got from Kohl's forever ago, or not Kohl's, excuse me, Ross. And it's got like 30, 40 Skylanders in there. Then Skylanders are so dumb, and you can only use so many per platform. I mean, it was a good concept, but if you have to buy a new platform each time to go along with each new game to use the new characters, it's so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it's a money grubbing kind of thing from the company. The parents are all upset because the kids really want them, so we, you know, sigh and say, fine, we'll buy the cheapest Skylanders, you know, but it's just, it's so expensive to upgrade Skylanders. Anywho, if you already own Skylanders, we have Skylanders Giant, the official guide, and then, like I said, Skylanders Universe, Book of Elements. We don't need these anymore. My children don't play this game anymore. I actually should just give the entire thing away, all the platforms and the games and all of the little figurines one day. I don't know what we'll do with them. Next I have a book here. It's called Comic Guy Kooks in the Cafeteria by Timothy Rowland. I took this from my friend Amy. She's a 4th grade teacher at my school. She was giving away a whole bunch of books, and I thought my son would like this, my youngest, but he's not interested in it, so we don't need it. And then the last thing I have here is the Unofficial Gamer's Adventure Book 1, The Quest for the Diamond Sword by Winter Morgan. My kids are obsessed with Minecraft. Most children are, if they, you know what Minecraft is. This isn't a guide or anything. It's like a story on Minecraft, and my son wasn't interested in this either. We got this in one of the Junior Nerd Block boxes, so we have extras. Okay, so there's that. Those were all of the books. So these are all of the middle grade books that I will be giving away, along with the Michelangelo sunglasses and the keychain that talks. Oops, I totally dropped it. And he talks.
This is gonna be epic!
It's gonna be epic. If you want this box, again, it's going to come in a Nocturnal Readers box. It doesn't contain Nocturnal Readers. I like to recycle all of the boxes I get, either from Amazon or book boxes or whatever, because I don't want to spend the money to buy more boxes. So I'm recycling. Just know that that's not what's inside. Hi, just kidding. When I filmed this video, I hadn't gone to Book Off yet. And so of course, if you have seen my July book haul, you will have noticed all of these books that I shared in that haul. So I want to again talk about the books that I will be adding to this Tradeaway giveaway. So we have these two classics, the Tom Sawyer, Adventure of Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. These will be added to the middle grade books if I can stuff them in there. And then I have a few books that will be single books. So if you want these books because they're more popular, you just say the title down below and I will add you to a hat specifically for this book only. So we have The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is the floppy French flapped paperback edition that I found at Book Off for $1. And then we have Denton Little's Death Date by Lance Rubin. Again, you just say Denton down below and you'll be added to a hat for this particular book. This is a YA paranormal book. I don't know what else to call it. I haven't read it yet, but I found this at the Dollar Tree, of course, for $1. And then I have Horror Store here by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror novel written in the fashion of an IKEA catalog. I'm so excited to read this book this coming Halloween. Let me just show you a picture really quickly. So we have the picture. The actual department store is haunted. I can't wait to read this, and I'm so excited that I found this for $1 at Book Off. So again, if you want this book, just say Horror Store. And then lastly, I have Ari from Maria Davana Headley. This is the ARC edition. I just received this in the mail from Thrift Books. It was supposed to be a hardcover book, and they sent me this one instead, so they allowed me to keep it, and I don't want it. So if you've already read Magonia, but you don't have the sequel and you are interested in reading that, just say this title right here. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm going to say Airy. Maybe it's Airy. Yeah, just let me know down below if you want that one. And the last thing I want to give away is some movies. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that huge pile of DVDs that I'm giving away. Not only was I doing a summer cleaning to all of my bookshelves and my children's bookshelves, but I went through my one movie cabinet that has all of my adult movies in them, and I removed everything that I bought back when I was in college or movies that were given to me that I have no interest in watching at any time in my life. I mean, normally when I go to watch a movie, it's going to be a comedy or a horror. The only exception is Pride and Prejudice because I can handle romance in small chunks, and that movie is the best. And I just watched the BBC miniseries that came out in '95. I think that's when it came out. I can't remember. That was the first time I had ever seen the miniseries, and it was so good. I mean, I don't typically think Colin Firth is very handsome, but he wasn't bad in that movie. So yeah, I really liked it. Pride and Prejudice is like one of my go-tos if I'm in need of a movie. So I'm going to show you two separate piles. One pile is going to be like the light and fluffy pile. So we have, here is a paper towel. This is how ghetto I am. But I have written all of the movies down so I can talk about them. The pile, comedies, romantic dramas, anything that's got like comedy or romance is going to be in the one pile, and then I have more of a drama pile. So we're going to do the comedy / romance pile first. And here's an exception. I know this doesn't make any sense, but I wanted to make the piles even, and I had a duplicate copy, so I just threw it into this pile because this pile only had 9 and the other pile had 10. So the first movie that I'm going to be giving away to you guys is Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. This haven't even been opened yet. I thought when I had bought this movie that we didn't have Pulp Fiction, and I bought this like 5 years ago. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, I think it was actually 5 years ago. But I have the collector's edition. The collector's edition is DVD, but I really like the case that it comes in. And even though this is Blu-ray, I didn't want to keep this one because I liked the other edition better. So, if you like Quentin Tarantino, I love his movies, you know, then you might like this one. Pulp Fiction is a classic. I mean, if you don't know Pulp Fiction yet, and Samuel L. Jackson talking about, you know, Revenge of the Lord and the, you know, Say What Again, and I love that movie. So there's that one. Next we have Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. This is the original theatrical version. I liked this movie the very first time I watched it. I don't need to ever watch it again. I don't even know why I bought it. Back when Circuit City was still open and we had no cable when my kids were first babies. We still don't have cable, but when my kids were first babies, I was bored out of my mind. My husband was gone at work for 8 hours a day and I wanted to watch stuff. So I'd go to Circuit City and buy all the $4.99 movies that I could find that, you know, I would like to watch. And that was one of them, and I don't want it anymore. Next, we have The Life of David Gale. I believe Kevin Spacey is in prison, and Kate Winslet is a reporter, and she's trying to, like, get him out of jail. Like, he said he was framed. I think I've only seen this movie once, and I don't want it. This is a drama thriller? Yeah, this is a drama thriller. Next, I have A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe as the main character and Jennifer Connelly as his wife. This one's really good. It's about a man who's a professor, but he believes that he used to crack codes or something. And when I first saw this, I thought it was really, really good, and then I bought the movie, and then I never watched it ever again. It's kind of long. As you can see, it was an Academy Awards Best Picture. Ooh. And this is the 2-disc awards edition because when I buy movies, I buy it all the way. I never buy single editions if I can help it. I always buy the special feature ones. And this one is a drama romance. Next we have IQ. This one has Meg Ryan and Tim Robbins. I thought this was such a cute movie. I'll never watch it again, but I did watch it a ton in college. It's about 2 people here, you know, Meg Ryan and Tim Robbins, and Meg Ryan is the granddaughter or the grandniece of Albert Einstein, and they fall in love. So there's that one. It's cheesy, but it's super cute. Then we have Along Came Polly with Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston. I hate Jennifer Aniston. I don't know about you guys. I've never liked the show Friends because Jennifer Aniston is in it, and I don't know why I hate her so much. I think I just hate her face. I don't think she's ugly, and she's got great skin and beautiful hair. I just don't like her for some reason. I don't know why. Just something about her. But I've never even watched this movie before. I don't even know how I got this movie. It must have been given to me. I don't want it. Then we have Undercover Brother. Oh my gosh. This is the collector's edition. It's got Denise Richards. Did you know Denise Richards went to El Camino High, which was our rival school growing up? Like, I went to Oceanside High here in San Diego, and she went to El Camino. And, yeah, she's like 5 years older than me, but she's such a terrible actress. And this movie is a joke. I don't even know how I got this one as well. I must have bought it because it's a special edition collector one, so ugh. I don't know why I have it. Next, I have 2 Weeks Notice with Sandra Bullock and Hugh Grant. This was actually really cute too. She is his assistant, and you know, he's always bossing her around, and she finds out that she kind of likes him, and then he finds out he kind of likes her. And that's the whole synopsis of the movie. Typical romantic comedy. Then we have Mona Lisa's Smile, and this has Julia Roberts in it, and those three girls. She's a professor at a college, and these three girls, she's got like her little, she's like the mama duck, and she has her little ducklings that follow her, and I don't even remember what happens in this movie, so I don't want it. This is also a romantic something or other. And then we have Analyze That. And this has Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal. I love Billy Crystal. But Robert De Niro is just okay. And he's always playing a badass in all the movies that he's in. So to see him in a comedic role was kind of strange. And he didn't do it properly. It was almost like, in my opinion, it was almost like he was pretending to be funny. And it just wasn't coming off like it was supposed to. I didn't like it. So yeah, I'm getting rid of that one. So these are all of the movies that are going to be in the comedy / romance pile. So if you want this one, just say comedy romance and I'll know what you're talking about and you'll get all of these. Excluding Pulp Fiction, I know that's not comedy romance, but you also get that movie as well. This pile here of 10 movies. So they're all going to be thrillers and crime and what's the other? Disaster movies and action. Yeah, disaster, thriller, action, crime, those kinds of things. So we first have here SWAT. This has Samuel L. Jackson in it, LL Cool J, Michelle Rodriguez, Colin Farrell. Not my kind of movie. I don't like it. These are all my husband's movies, and I just don't want them anymore. Then we have Ladder 49. This one has John Travolta and Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know anything about this movie. My husband loved this movie back in the day. Then we have K-Pax. This is a sci-fi drama, I think, and this is Kevin Spacey and Jeff Bridges. I think he's an alien, but because it's a drama and it's not a comedy, I don't want it. Then we have Wind Talkers with Nicolas Cage in it. This is a war movie. I can't remember if Wind Talkers are the Native Americans that was able to decipher the codes for the war. Was that what this movie was about? I cannot remember. I think it was, though. Anyways, I don't want it. And then we have Backdraft, another, like, what is it called? Disaster thriller. This has Kurt Russell in it, William Baldwin, Rebecca De Mornay, Donald Sutherland, Robert De Niro. No, thank you. Firefighter movie? I don't know. And then we have Ocean's 11. Now, this is a thriller comedy, but you know, I figured I would put one of each in each pile. I did like this movie when I first saw it. I think it's just because I'm obsessed with Brad Pitt, but it's only like a one kind of time watch for me because I'm not really interested in heist movies. Then we have Double Jeopardy, and this is Tommy Lee Jones and Ashley Judd. She is framed for murdering her husband, and then she can't be framed again. So who's to say she couldn't kill him if he was still alive? I don't want that one. Then we have Black Hawk Down. I can't stand war movies. The only war movie I will ever keep in my collection is Full Metal Jacket, and that is because my grandpa really liked that movie growing up, and I had seen it so many times, and it wasn't a movie that made me sad, whereas this movie and Private Ryan really makes me sad. I don't want them. I don't want them. And then we have Inside Man. I don't like Denzel Washington. I don't like any of his characters. I can't stand his face either. I don't like him. So, yeah, don't want this one. And the last movie I have here is Enemy of the State. Somehow Will Smith is involved in a conspiracy, and he's got some kind of, like, bag on him, and people are tracing him, and he's getting in trouble, and he doesn't even know how he got this bag. I think that's what this movie's about. Again, a lot of these movies are my husband's, where I've seen bits and pieces of it, but not the entire story. I'm not interested in these. So if you're interested in any of these movies, just say thriller, drama, disaster, anything like that, crime, police, war, any of those words, I will know what you're talking about, and you can have all of these movies. So again, you get 10 movies in each box, and then these 4 books aren't going to be in a box. These are all singles, so if you write your name down for this one, it'll be a single book that you receive. Okay, so to close this video, I just want to let you guys know that you are able to put your name down for every single box, but you can only win once. So if I happen to pull your name out of the hat for the very first box that I talk about, unfortunately you can't win another box, and that's just the way it goes. I want everyone to be able to have a chance to win, and I have like 15 boxes that I'll be giving away in this Tradeaway, so that's 15 people that can win, and I want everyone to be able to enjoy the Tradeaway giveaway. So 1 winner, but you can put your name down for all of them if you wish. This is international, and again, you have to send me something. If that's not your goal, if you're just thinking you're going to get free books or free box of movies, you are mistaken. I will not be sending them to you. They'll just be sitting in my room waiting for your reply. So please send me something first, because you won't get what you want otherwise. And lastly, this video will be going up while I'm on vacation, so you guys have until the 16th to reply to this Tradeaway giveaway. I know that's a very long time. I normally only have my giveaways open for a week, but because I will be gone for a little over 2 weeks, this giveaway will be open until the 16th. On the 16th, I will shut it down, and then I will do my winners video, and then I'll start sending out the boxes after that. So let me know what you want down below. Again, you can put your name down for every single one. It closes on the 16th of August. I will leave all of that information down below. And yeah, that is it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I will see you in 2.5 weeks. I'm sorry I'll be gone for so long. I will be trying to post things on Instagram. Maybe I'll do Instagram stories for the first time to kind of like make up for the videos that I will be missing while I am gone. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys, again, have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!